topic of global warming has been a highly debated and controversial issue in recent years, with many scientists and mainstream media outlets presenting a unified front on the causes and consequences of this phenomenon. However, a growing number of skeptics have begun to question the accuracy and motivations behind the prevailing narrative on global warming, with some even suggesting that scientists and mainstream media are deliberately lying to the public about the issue. One of the primary reasons why some people believe that scientists and mainstream media are lying about global warming is the perceived lack of transparency and accountability in the scientific community. Many scientists rely on government funding and grants to conduct their research, which can create a conflict of interest and pressure to produce results that support the prevailing narrative on global warming. Additionally, the peer review process, which is intended to ensure the accuracy and validity of scientific research, can be flawed and biased towards certain viewpoints. Moreover, the mainstream media has a history of sensationalizing and exaggerating the consequences of global warming, often relying on emotional appeals and scare tactics to grab the attention of their audience. This can create a false narrative and distort the public's perception of the issue, leading to a misunderstanding of the science and a lack of critical thinking. The media's focus on extreme weather events such as hurricanes and droughts as evidence of global warming can be misleading, as these events have always occurred naturally and are not necessarily linked to human activities. Another reason why some people believe that scientists and mainstream media are lying about global warming is the failure to acknowledge and address the uncertainties and complexities of the issue. Climate science is a complex and multidisciplinary field, and there is still much that is not fully understood about the Earth's climate system. However, the prevailing narrative on global warming often presents a simplistic and dogmatic view of the issue, ignoring the nuances and uncertainties that exist. This can create a false sense of certainty and consensus among scientists and the public, which can be damaging to the scientific process and the pursuit of knowledge. Furthermore, the politicization of global warming has also contributed to the perception that scientists and mainstream media are lying about the issue. The debate over global warming has become highly polarized, with many politicians and activists using the issue as a tool to promote their own agendas and ideologies. This can create a toxic environment in which scientists and journalists feel pressured to conform to certain viewpoints or risk being ostracized and criticized. The result is a lack of diversity and debate in the scientific community, which can stifle the free exchange of ideas and hinder the pursuit of knowledge. In addition, the role of special interest groups and lobbyists in shaping the narrative on global warming cannot be ignored. Many organizations, including environmental groups and corporations, have a vested interest in promoting a particular viewpoint on global warming, and they often use their influence and resources to shape public opinion and policy. This can create a biased and distorted narrative, which can be misleading and damaging to the public's understanding of the issue. In conclusion, while the majority of scientists agree that human activities are contributing to global warming, the perception that scientists and mainstream media are lying about the issue is complex and multifaceted. The lack of transparency and accountability in the scientific community, the sensationalism and bias of the mainstream media, the failure to acknowledge and address uncertainties and complexities, the politicization of the issue, and the influence of special interest groups all contribute to this perception. It is essential to approach the topic of global warming with a critical and nuanced perspective, recognizing the uncertainties and complexities that exist, and promoting a more open and inclusive debate on the issue. By doing so, we can work towards a more accurate and informed understanding of global warming and develop effective solutions to address its challenges.